know if, oh, it is. It's stopped. Oh, and I've got my phone going. Give me a second. You can tell I haven't done one of these for ages. Right, is that gone? Yay! Hello, everybody. I've got. Ooh, I've got a. No. I've got a weird. Oh, echo. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. You know when it's all going to go wrong. Trying to film with me now, and I'm not doing very well. I don't know what's going on, but I've got this horrible echo happening. Can you let me know in the chat? Can you hear me twice? Because once is enough for anybody, but can you hear me twice? Is it just me? Let me know, because it's all going horribly wrong this end. No, it's just me. Right, okay. It's probably because I've got headphones in then and I'm hearing myself back. Hello. We've got 8 people. I cannot believe this. I haven't been live for ages and I didn't expect anybody to turn up. So let's do some hellos before we get going. Now, who have we got? I know Deb put this earlier, so I don't know if Deb, if you're still with us or if this is from earlier, but thank you so much. I love the way you share your journey with us. Do you know what? I think it's so easy sometimes to think we've got nothing to say and that our lives are quite boring. I don't know if relates to that, but I do think sometimes when you hear other people's stories, it does feel like you're not on your own, doesn't it? Who else have we got? We've got Anna. Hi, Anna from California. Do you know what? It still blows my mind that we can have people from all over the world all connecting at the same time. I was talking to Tracy when we about that. And there she is. YouTube for grown-ups. Hi, Tracy. Glad to see you. We've got Leslie. Hello from Swindon in the UK. Get a wave. What we got here? Oh, you thought it was on your other channel? I don't know. Do you have to kind of register to get notified on your channel or something like that? I'm not sure how that works. Right. Oh, no, let me have a look. I think we've still got other stuff going on. Just try and get through these because I'm not very good at remembering to go down the chat. I always have tech issues. Do you know what? I was having major issues with this because when I logged into Talk Studio, which is what I used to stream with, now that StreamYard got too expensive. I must have somehow along the way set up 2 different accounts because when I went in to get set for this live stream, it wasn't there, and I was having a bit of a mild panic. But it looks like I think what's actually happened is I've got a couple of Google accounts, and I think I'd set the live stream up on one Google account, and then somehow managed to log into this on a different Google account. But we are all here, so that's good. What else have we got? To us, you sound just like a little in a tunnel. Oh, am I a little bit echoey then? That's not good. Hello, Michelle. So no, it's just me. Just that's good. I suppose if any of us are going to have problems, it's best that it's me. There's a lot of hellos going on to each other, which is nice. I hit notify on. Oh, we've got good. Hello, lovely to see you. 8 people, I can't believe it. I'm blown away. Michelle said, your story's so great. I'm about to early retire, waiting for the confirmation from work. That must be lovely, I think, um, when it's your goal and we're kind of makes you redundant. If a redundancy is something you're actually wanting, that must be lovely. I remember when I worked for the Air Force, they had a round of redundancies, and I just assumed everybody, if they were made redundant, would be devastated. And I had one bloke come in. There were some voluntary redundancies, and not everybody that volunteered for redundancy would get it. I had a guy come into my office. Part of my job was to support people resettling back into civilian life, and he came in and he said, "I didn't get my redundancy," and I was like, stupid, really. I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant." He was like, "No, it isn't. I've just lost a whole load of money, and I had plans for my life. Got it completely wrong." Right, I'm going to take my headphones out. I'll turn them down because I do my head in. Let me turn that right down. Right, hello everyone. Right, I'm not very good at this multitasking, Lark. I think it's in the past, haven't I? Yeah, I've been there 31 years and a bit shocked. Oh, okay. So was the redundancy not planned, or was it something you were looking forward to? Because I do tend to make assumptions, and I shouldn't. 31 years, that's a long time, isn't it, in a job? I was 32 years at the MOD. When you're in one place all that time, it is. It's a challenge when you kind of when you leave it, isn't it? Anyway, right. Let me figure out how to take you off the stream. Yes, I know, Tracy, you were telling me you were made redundant at 52. It's funny, isn't it? We often think these things against the world, but it's that old adage that quite often these problems become opportunities and you never know what you're for. So I'm sure whatever your plans are coming up next, Michelle, it will be a brilliant transition. I do believe that everything is best. I don't know if I'm just a bit of a list on that, but I do think it tends to work out best. So anyway, let me tell you why I put this live stream on. I would like to do more of these because if I could just get bloody echo to disappear. Fantastic. I need to work on that. I've never had that before. But I just thought I would catch everybody up on what's been going on because my challenge, as I've kind of talked about in videos, I've not talked about it in real time, if you like. Um, so I made the decision about the middle of last year to semi-retire, start to wind my business down, but I wasn't going to completely wind it down. I was going to still sort of do some work. And then as time went on, as I got nearer and nearer to Christmas, I think I was just done. I know that sounds silly, but I was just done. And I felt like I just needed a complete break and talked it through with Mark and, you know, kind of tried to figure out if I could afford to. I do have a bit of a pension. We are in, you know, a pretty fortunate position that I could. So we talked a lot about it, and I made the decision to kind of fully retire for Christmas. Although that said, I am still getting a bit of work in. So I am still doing a little bit of client work. But what I realised was causing me a lot of the stress wasn't the delivery. It wasn't the delivery. It wasn't me turning up and, you know, serving my clients. It was all the marketing and the stuff that goes on in the background that was just really sort of wearing me out, I think. Um, so it was quite a big shift from being semi-retired. I don't even know if I like all the terminology really. What's the difference between being semi-retired and being fully retired and still doing some work? I don't know. Maybe I've got that all completely wrong. Oh, isn't this sound going funny? Um, is it going funny for anybody else, or is it just for Tracy? Let me know in the comments if I've got a decent microphone, but I'm just wondering if it's. Can you hear that? I wonder if I turned my microphone down, if that was the problem. Let me know if you could hear me now. Can't see anybody saying anything in the comments, so maybe my sound isn't odd, but okay. Sounds like a memory issue. What, my memory or the sound's memory? Yeah, as long as you can hear me, it might not be the best, but as long as you can hear me, we should be okay. So just let me know if it really goes funny. So yeah, just sort of going back to the whole kind of making the decision to retire thing. I think it was a mindset more than anything. This kind of right. I'm gonna say I'm retired. Um, no, ELAPI. I don't know what that means. Lol, no, the ELAPI. I have no idea what that means, Tracy. ELAPI? ELAPI. Um, what else have we got? I'm all over the place tonight, aren't I? Oh, what ADHD? Is that what you got diagnosed with ADHD? If it is, how are you feeling about it? Um, let me know how you're feeling about it if that is ADHD, because I know I absolutely broke down the day I got my diagnosis. I just like ugly sobbed for about half an hour, literally sort of snotty sobbing. I didn't know whether to be angry, relieved. I don't know if I was scared. It was just every emotion I had came out. Let me know. Um, Michelle, do I miss the routine of work? Yes, yes, I do. And I've said this before. I think going back to kind of the ADHD thing. One of the problems I think that I have as somebody with ADHD is I hate routine and I hate structure, but I don't function very well without it. And I definitely have missed the routine of work. In fact, part of doing this live stream, and I'll talk about the YouTube stuff in a minute, is YouTube is going to be my structure because yeah, without it, I kind of fall apart a little bit. Um, I could quite easily get into the habit of getting up in the morning without any structure or routine for the day and ending up at the end of the day having achieved nothing. And I don't think that really is sustainable long term. I think it's nice in the short term, isn't it? Being on holiday, when you haven't got any routine, you can just do whatever you want through the day, and it sounds lovely, but actually, it's an interesting thing, I think. And I don't know if anybody else on here who's retired, Tracy, let us know if you felt the same. Not having any routine or structure and not achieving anything, not feeling like I'd achieved anything, had a massive impact on confidence. And the less I was doing, and I know it's only been 3 months, so I've probably got over this pretty quickly in the big picture. But I felt like my confidence was waning, and I think part of that is why I haven't done an awful lot on YouTube. For this channel over the last few months, it's been a bit sporadic. Um, but yeah, definitely miss the routine of work. Don't miss the work itself, which is why I've had to kind of try and replace it with something else, which is the YouTube stuff. But the YouTube stuff has been brilliant because now that I don't have other demands on my time, I can go out and actually enjoy getting the footage to do vlogs and things like that. I've got another channel, The Good Life, that I share with my husband. We talk about our travels in a camper van. And it's nice having a bit more time to be able to take the time to record stuff and edit it. I love the whole editing process. It's a bit weird like that. So having more time to do that, I guess I'm trying to make YouTube my job, but without it feeling like the pressure of having a job, if that makes sense. I hope that answers your question. Let me just go back. So, Tracy, yeah, it explains a lot. I'm relieved and I'm not mad. Relieved I'm not mad. Um, I had exactly that. In fact, one of the biggest challenges for me going for my ADHD diagnosis was the fear that they would tell me I didn't have ADHD, because without that diagnosis, if they said I didn't, I was left with, well, maybe I am just mad or just, lazy or just whatever, and, all of the negative thoughts that you have about yourself. So I'm glad you're feeling good about it. Let me know, have you talked or thought about what that means in terms of moving forward? Are you thinking of sort of coaching or meds, or are you happy that, just getting that diagnosis is for you? I'd love to know. Um, let's have a look. Anna retired at 54. I love it. Let us know though, Anna. Did you find that lack of routine affected you in the beginning? I certainly have found it has. Oh, thank you very much. This is probably breaking every YouTube or video rule, isn't it? So they do say don't have anything that's overly patterned because it's too much of a distraction. But yeah, I've never been one to follow the rules. Let's have a look, Michelle. So, what are your friends and family think of you doing YouTube? That's a really interesting one. I'm not sure that all of the family know, to be honest. I mean, my daughter and my son know, and I think they roll their eyes a little bit. But they're supportive, but they don't particularly watch my stuff. I think sometimes they watch some of the vlogs from Mark and I and probably cringe as they're watching them. My granddaughter, who's 10 in May, just thinks, well, to be fair, I could be Mrs. Beast, in her eyes, 1,700 subscribers on this channel, and she thinks I'm like a YouTube goddess. She thinks it's wonderful. Mark, I think he's growing more. I think he's growing more used to the idea, and actually getting him on camera on our other channel, and him seeing what goes into it, and he's enjoying it. I think he's finding it quite interesting. But the rest of the family, I don't really know that they know. My brother, of course, does. My brother he has a couple of monetized YouTube channels. He's been on YouTube longer than me, and he's got a really good channel. So we talk an awful lot these days about YouTube, and he gives me lots of help and advice, and sends me the odd with equipment because he gets a lot of sort of free business sponsorship stuff. But the rest of the family, I don't know. My friends, what they think, they've never been sort of negative about it. I can honestly say nobody's ever kind of tried to put me off. Well, that's not true. I did have one friend, more of an acquaintance with me, who we gave a lift to one day. I've got this iPhone holder thing on the dashboard of the car, and she was asking what it was, and because I do YouTube, and she went, "Oh, what? You just sit there and film yourself?" and was a bit sneery. That's about the only one I've had that's been particularly negative, but that was quite funny. But yeah, I think a lot of people are quite impressed, I think, that you can get behind a camera and do this. Some people find it so hard to come on camera and just talk to people. And I definitely found that in the beginning I was very wooden. I've been in a training role for many years, so standing up and talking in public has never been a problem for me. I did amateur theatre when I was a kid and into my teens. In fact, one of my claims to fame claims to fame is that I played the lead role in a play that we took up to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival when I was 18. So I've never been bothered by it, but I know a lot of people find it quite hard, don't they, to sit and talk to the cameras. I think a few people are quite impressed. Not impressed at how good or bad I am, just the fact that I can do it. Let's have a look. Tracy saying, yes, I felt like I was on a scrap heap at 52. I died inside a lot. That's sad to hear. I applied for and failed to get my own job that I'd been doing for a few years. That is so demoralising. When I was in the Outer Hebrides, I lived in the Outer Hebrides for 18 months when I was in my 20s. And the job that I was doing was a temporary role that was then, they got funding to make it permanent, and I had to reapply for my own job. Now, what was really weird was it was the Outer Hebrides, and nobody was there, so nobody else applied. I was the only person that applied, and because it's a civil service, blooming bureaucracy of the civil service, I had to go through the full interview process for the job that I was already doing and had been doing for 10 months, and I was the only applicant. Can you imagine how devastated I'd have been if I hadn't have got it? Actually, I did get it. Yeah, that was just, it is disheartening. Remember when my dad was made redundant, he was a weapons systems engineer, working as a civilian engineer for the Navy. And when he got made redundant, he became ineligible to apply for his own job because when they shouldn't have created the job, but you know what happens? They made him redundant and then they invented another job with a different title, but it was the same job. But they wanted somebody with a degree in engineering, and he didn't have it. He just hadn't many years of experience, so he wasn't even qualified to do the job he'd always done. It was just his confidence, went through the floor on that one. Have a look. YouTube helped you get your self-esteem back. It's incredible how it changes your life more than you ever perhaps realize it would. And at this point, I think I would encourage anybody to start a YouTube channel, regardless of whether you wanted to do it to get monetized or to, make an income from it. But just because of the benefits that come from the learning process, trying to understand how everything works, the confidence that you get from learning to talk on camera, the people that you meet, and Tracy and I met up last Wednesday, I think it was, for the first time. We've never met in person, but you create some really strong relationships when you become a content creator. And I just think YouTube has got, so many hidden benefits that aren't really talked about. We all talk about monetization, but I would say that's probably for me anyway, one of the lesser benefits. Well, that's a lesser benefit because I've not earned any money out of it as such yet. Let's have. It says, where I am on the ADHD thing, if they say I'm not, what then? So I'm at the moment. Do you know what? I think the reality is, though, generally speaking, we wouldn't go and have a diagnosis if we weren't pretty damn sure that it was going to be a positive diagnosis, or we wouldn't have an assessment if we weren't sure it was a positive diagnosis. Because I think ultimately we know, and I'm not sure that if we, when we're that sure, we really need the full diagnosis. There's something just a bit validating, I guess, about having a professional sort of put in a box. But I think if you know, that there's so much information out there now that I believe self-diagnosis is very valid, but I totally get the ostrich. I ostrich quite some time before I went. And the only reason I really went to get a formal diagnosis was because I'd done my TEDx talk, and I felt like if I didn't have a formal diagnosis, I was a bit of a fraud. Tracy, having a meds review and a proper referral shortly seems they have been treating me that were just masking ADHD. So it's all good. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I didn't get on with meds, but I know so many people that get on really, really well. It's made a huge difference. Um, and no, I'm lazy. I never wanted to be a working person. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mum. Instead, I was a single mum. Must be 22 years working at the airlines. I I don't think it's about being lazy at all. I think it's just, some of us don't want that kind of routine of working, a 9 to 5. So don't don't think of it as lazy. I don't think it's lazy anyway. Um, what have we got? It's great. I love all the chit chat. Um, yeah, best qualified by far, and he'd been doing the job for 10 years, the only one with a master's equivalent. And I thought, do you think sometimes I think the decision has already been made, and it's often not about us as an individual, it's about everybody else's agenda, and we can get sort of hung up on taking things personally when I think sometimes people have just got their own agenda, haven't they? I know now I was all brain fog from menopause, interviewed poorly, I wouldn't have employed me. I would love to think after 8 years nearly of working in the menopause and the workplace arena that things have changed, but I don't think they have really. I think we're aware of it, but I don't think much allowance is made for it. Yes, for me, the learning, the friendship's worth their weight in gold. I think it is the whole YouTube thing. I think it is the thing that isn't talked about, and it's I've realised. I think I've talked about this on videos, and in the last few years, I realised I'm way more introverted than I realised. I always thought I was an extrovert, and I'm not. I'm a real introvert. Which is why meeting up with somebody like I did with Tracy last week was lovely. That one-to-one interaction, love it. Get me in a crowd of more than about four. In fact, probably more than three people. I don't even like three. Two is probably my max for comfort. But put me in a bigger group, and I really don't enjoy it. I find that I tend to be much more reserved, much more quiet in a larger group. Not if I'm at the front talking weirdly, um, but as an introvert, I think YouTube is brilliant because you can have these interactions with lots of people through the medium of YouTube and the camera, but you don't have that energy drain that you get if you have to mix with people in real life. And that sounds a little bit, I guess that probably sounds a little bit selfish, but I do find that being around lots of people drains me. And this way, I get all of that interaction because I'm sociable. I like that social side of me. I just don't particularly like being around lots of people. Does anybody else relate to that, or is it just me being antisocial? Uh, Nowadays, it's that companies favour paying someone less rather than experience or best person for the job. I am 100% with you. I see that so often, and it's such short-sighted thinking. It's also incredibly ageist, and I thought we should have been past that by now as well. Let's have a look. Is it meeting a great friend? Not like a first meeting at all. Mind you, we have done a couple of live streams and we've chatted and knew beforehand that we were never ever going to have a struggle for anything to talk about. In fact, I think we were, well, it must have been 3.5 hours or something we were sat chatting last week. It was lovely. Michelle's asking, have I got any travel planned now you are retired? Yes, yes, we have. So we've obviously got our camper van now, and we try and get away at least once every 2 weeks. We still have caring responsibilities for my granddaughter. So my daughter is a nurse and works a weird shift. So we look after my granddaughter a bit. So we can't go away at the minute for long periods of time. but we try and get away in between shifts. So we've got all sorts planned around the UK. Well, we haven't got the plan. I don't do planning, but we've got lots of ideas of where we want to go. But I also this week have sent off my application for Irish citizenship. So I have familial roots, Irish roots on my mum's side. So I can apply for the to be an Irish. I mean, I'm already classed as an Irish citizenship, as an Irish citizen. I just wasn't registered at birth. So I sent my application off on must be the 18th of March. It was the day after St Patrick's Day, for my to be registered on the my parents gone dead, but basically to become an Irish citizen. So once I get that, and in a couple of years' time, when my granddaughter's older and she doesn't need our care so much, we've got big plans to go off in the camper van for maybe 6 months to a year going around Europe. I would quite like to potentially go across to Canada and hire a motorhome and do some Canada and America. So yeah, I've got big plans, and it's also my 60th birthday in January, and we want to do. We love cruising. We have been on a cruise now. But last time we went on a cruise was in June last year when we went. We took my son and my daughter and my granddaughter and another couple of people with us for our 30th wedding anniversary. We took them all on a cruise to the Norwegian fjords, which was beautiful. So I would definitely like to do a few more cruises as well. It's just the biggest problem we have at the minute is not only do we have care and responsibilities for my granddaughter, but we also have my mum-in-law who's 93. She comes to live with us for a month every few months. So yes, we have loads of plans. We just have to find ways to fit it all in. You are in, so we have no argument. There's obviously a private conversation and joke going on here. Oh, I love the conversations. Yeah, no, always been a lot of duck. Right, okay, let's have a look. There's ducks and gerbils going on in the chat here that I have no idea what's all about. I agree with that as well. A stay-at-home mum is one of the hardest working people ever. Yeah, there's no time off for the behaviour, is there? Hey, my brother is in the house. Talking about Irish citizen, Brian, just remind me, what is it that I've just applied for? the registration, register of birth? Oh, I can't remember what it is. Put it in the comments for me because I was trying to explain about the Irishness. So my brother, this is his other newly monetized channel, and I'm incredibly jealous because he literally only started this channel 4 or 5 months ago, and it's flying. So talking about the Irish citizenship, my brother applied for his. He did all the donkey work, to be honest, which is why I can't remember the name of what it is I've just applied for. He told me everything I needed to know to apply, but is just about to emigrate to Cyprus. I mean, literally in the next couple of weeks. And in the next week, I've got a video going to be coming out next week about something I'm going to do that for me is quite exciting. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to do the old keep it to myself. Let's have a little look. Yeah, yes, I did it for yes, it is. I did it for 3 years. Are we talking being a stay-at-home mum? But being around folk at work, yeah, I don't know. I was quite ready to go back to work when I had my kids. I think didn't naturally. I wasn't naturally a mum. I found the maternal thing quite hard. Let's have a look what's going on here. You and Gert in chat here are some of the best people I know. Oh, that's a lovely thing to say. I don't know how you can type so quickly, Tracy, to be honest. Ariel thinks I'm an extrovert. It's interesting, when we met, I just said before we met that I thought you were massively extroverted. But when we met, we've always said there's a lot of similarities, I think, in our personalities. And I felt that from you when we met, that there was a definite introversion there. Maybe that's why we get on well. Uh, you don't have, that is very true. You don't have to mask online. What is interesting, I was watching this brilliant video yesterday. It might have been this morning, actually. It's been a long day. And there was this guy, I don't know who it was, yeah, just came across the video randomly. It was on about being authentic online. And he he was spending hours and hours making very uh, sort of cinema, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Cinema, I can't get my words out. Really fancy editing, the whole sort of cinema style editing. And he would spend like 2 days editing vlogs. In fact, 2 weeks, I think, beg your pardon, he was spending 2 weeks editing his vlogs. And then he was watching people who were just jumping on, no editing, no scripting, and their views were going through the roof. And this trend around being just your authentic self online. But he tried it, and his numbers completely dropped. But I think what he was saying, he was confusing the authentic with quality of your videography or cinematography. I think that's the word I was trying to get for. And I think he missed the point, because I think you can be very inauthentic and have very good qualities to graphic. I can't get the right word there. You know what I mean? Footage, or you can, what am I trying to say? Or the opposite, you could be very authentic and have very raw footage. And that's what I think he was thinking. If you were authentic, you would have low quality production quality. And I think right, I'm rambling here. Stick with me, and my brain will kick in a moment. I think he was using being authentic, being of good quality. And I don't think it is that. I think you can be authentic is just about showing up as who you are, whether that's with great cinematography or whether it's just raw, hardly edited. It's about being you. And actually, for him, being his authentic self was about spending hours making these wonderful cinema style videos. But you I've come back to Gert's point here about you don't have to mask online. I think a lot of people do mask online. I think they try to be something that they're not. But you don't have to. You can be your authentic self, and I think that is something I'm learning more as I'm getting used to YouTube. Is just to let that kind of. Do you know what I mean? So like your telephone voice. I think there's a YouTube voice that people have. And if you can get rid of that and let yourself come out, I think that's really, really good. Oh, that was a lot of waffle, wasn't it? Sorry about that. Right. What else have we got? Good. I'm so sorry. That was a really waffly answer to your comment there. I just need to be in the crowd, so not people in suits crowd. Yeah, I never got on really well with the whole kind of corporate professional look. Um, and I have a maximum 2 hours being with other people before I start losing my mind. Maybe we're all just a bunch of introverts here. My long lost sister. Um, I do have some awesome travel plans, and I can't wait to have them happen. That's the one. Thank you. I applied to be put on the foreign born register. So, from what I understand from Brian's told me, we were always Irish because of our family ties, our family lineage. What my mum should have done when we were born was register us as both English and Irish. I think I'm right on that. Anyway, it can take about a year to come through. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, by St Patrick's Day next year, I'll have dual nationality. I have to say goodbye. I have to tell my husband to mechanic to pick up his car. I'll catch the rest later. Thank you so much for dropping by, Anna. Have a lovely day. See you soon. Right. Yeah, they are serious stuff, and it can take over your life, I think, if you're not careful. And it's really hard. We talked about this last week as well, that the guilt that goes with caring. Right. Redditch citizenship. I can't keep up with all of the blooming chat. Brian, yeah, I move into my Paphos home on the 1st of April. That's so exciting, isn't it? It is so exciting. And I lived in Cyprus for 3 years. In fact, I think I might even just take a little bit of credit for why you're emigrating to Paphos, because I think when you came out to see us in Cyprus, you just fell in love with it, didn't you? And I'm really looking forward to when you get out there, coming out to see you as well, because I've been in Cyprus. Gosh, it must be 15 years since I was in last in Cyprus. Let's have a look. My brother, I'm an introvert off stage, but put me near a stage and I'm the ultimate extrovert, loving being in the middle of the audience. Being in the middle of the audience reaction and loving my own solitude immediately. So just to give some context to this comment, my brother is a professional singer. I'm an absolute brilliant performer, but I get that. It's interesting. See, this is why I was an extrovert, because I loved being on stage when I was younger. You know, I did a lot of the theatrical stuff, the theatre. But I loved being on stage, and I assumed because I did, it must mean that I was extroverted. But in actual fact, I've heard a lot of people say actors and performers are quite often introverts, but it's almost their a way of kind of showing off almost without the train, or being a little bit of somebody else, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'd have confidence to go back to doing it now that I'm older, though. Michelle, thank you for all your questions. I'm really enjoying these. What have you got planned for your YouTube channel in the next few weeks? Well, I have got some notes here, and one of them was, what am I going to do with YouTube? My YouTube channel is a little bit of a mishmash, isn't it? I look back over the couple of years I've had it, and it's been all over the place, which is probably why it's taken a little while to grow. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. I like blogging. I like the blogging style of videos more than I do the kind of the educational teaching stuff, which is what I sort of started doing. But I still haven't really figured out where I want it to go. Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you'd like the channel to do, because I'm struggling a little bit to know which direction to take it. And at the minute, I'm just basically posting what's in my head in the moment. I do quite like the idea of sharing my YouTube journey, and hopefully, not that I'm an expert in YouTube by any means, but I think sometimes seeing somebody else's journey is helpful to those who maybe are just embarking on the journey. And I think all the things that I've done this couple of years, I think I have a lot than I give myself credit for, and stuff that I would like to share in perhaps my way. Yes, my way will appeal to others. So I think in my mind, I'm thinking to kind of finish Laura's in early retirement. So I can talk a lot about the early retirement side in vlogs, but I'm also in how I'm blogging, what I'm using, why I'm doing things the way I'm doing them, tips, um, how I do things. Um, and in the process, I'm sure I'm learning all the time anyway, so I'll be better and hope. No, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. Part of the problem I have with this, I get bored with the same topic and the same subject. There's definitely, from a growth um, perspective, to grow on YouTube, really want to be quite niche. I look at Tracy's channel; she's got her craft channel, but even her craft channel is more niche than that. It's the kind of resins and molds and things, which is very niche. My brother's channel, one of them is about microfoam photography, and although it doesn't stick exactly to microphone, it's a very clear niche. His new channel, Path to Paphos, is all about his journey to Cyprus, very niche. And I haven't really found that niche, and it keeps changing all the time, doesn't it? So that's probably why things are going a bit slow. But yeah, any help or ideas on where I can go with this, I'd be more than happy to hear. Um, Pathos, Brian, comparing authenticity to production quality is like comparing what fruit you eat to the car you drive. They're unrelated. I think you're right. If I can find it, I don't want to do this guy down. It was a very, very good video. I just think he'd missed or misunderstood the context of authenticity, um, which was interesting. Uh, Michelle, they are great questions. Thank you. What's this one? Bev, you need a mod. Is it a moderator? Is that what you mean? I don't know what a mod is. Does that mean I need like a remodel? Tell me what you mean, Tracy. Um, yeah, it's all my fault. I should never have introduced you to that beautiful Mediterranean island all those years ago. On stage, you can be free to be whoever you want with very little judgment because you're playing a part. I think that's exactly what it is. It's like you're acting somebody else, you're being somebody else at that time, and you don't have to be your true self. I think it is another form of masking, isn't it? Um, I know, I'm really looking forward to that. That's charming. So one of the other things I've been thinking of is, now that I've got more time on my hands, I want to do different things that I've never tried before. Because one of the things I have realised since I have retired, I'm actually quite a scaredy cat. There's lots of things that don't scare me that scare other people, like standing on stage and public speaking. I know is like the worst nightmare for lots of people, but that's never bothered me. But I've realised that there are lots of things that I'm really scared to do that seem so mundane and silly, like walking, going for a walk. I went for a walk today to do some vlogging, and I went a little bit off the beaten track, and I could feel a mild panic because I have a dreadful sense of direction. If we do go walking, we walk quite a lot. Mark does all the navigation, and even with like Google Maps on my phone, and we use the All Trails app, which is like a walking app. I still don't feel confident that I won't get lost, and it seems quite pathetic, really. But uh, I'm also not very confident about trying things I've never tried before. So it's kind of surprised me a little bit that I am such a scaredy cat. So that's something I kind of want to do. Even just like the other week, I went to the cinema. I drove up to Woodall Spa in Lincolnshire, and had a little walk. But even then, I didn't walk far because I didn't want to go off the beaten track in case I got lost. And I went to the cinema on my own. I've never done that before. I'm quite happy going to a cafe and sitting and having a coffee because that feels comfortable. I know what I'm doing. But stupid things like just going to the theatre or to a museum on my own, I've never done it. So, and it scares me a little bit, which it's the weirdest thing. So a few years ago, I flew to Hawaii on my own. I had a 12-hour layover in Atlanta airport. Didn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me. But going for a walk where I might get lost and not find my way back, major panics. I don't know, I'm just a bit weird, I think. Um, Vishnu, so your experiences as a new retiring, great. Try all sorts of content and find out what makes you happy. I think that's really good advice. I think that's probably the best advice for every YouTuber is find what makes you happy. And I think a lot of times we make content based on what we think we should be doing instead of what we really want to be doing, and taking the pressure off to to work for the to the algorithm and things, I think is important. So thank you for that. Um, yeah, go and check it out. He's got some lovely footage on there. Um, but Beva's that nailed. It's a good niche. Not sure what that one. Because the comments flow by, I'm not sure what that one was referring back to. Tracy. Yeah, the moderator. Yeah, I thought moderators were just there to stop people making like swear words and things in the comments. Tell me what a moderator's wrong with me. You actually already have a niche. It's very Thorogood. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a niche though, is it? It's unique and people will watch more and more as they get to know you. Therein lies the problem, because without a subject niche, if you like, people don't necessarily get to see you because you're not pushed out, because YouTube doesn't really know what to do with me. It doesn't know what to show me to, because I'm all over the place. But yeah, it is a slow burner. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. We've run out of subject. Don't know. I think you're over egging how interesting the Thorogood niche can be. I guess yeah. I just keep doing what I'm doing and see how it goes. Uh, Watching you try new things in retirement will be fun. Watching me fail at trying new things in retirement can be fun. That can be very funny. I'm not very good at food myself, and I need to get better. Do you know what? Something that I did notice when we've been vlogging on the other channel is how little I laugh. I never thought of myself as a very serious person, but I don't laugh a lot. I need to learn to laugh more. And I definitely have a resting bitch face. I've realised when I see myself on, like, when you're not performing to a camera, but you're just like there talking, I have a proper resting miserable face. I never knew I did, but I have. Yeah, trying new things as a retired person. That is kind of where I want the niche to go, I guess, sort of the whole early retiree thing. But I do want to talk about the YouTube journey as well, and I don't know if they'll gel. I don't know if they're going to be because not everybody who's early retired is going to want to do YouTube. But I don't know. When I do post stuff about my YouTube journey, I do get good uptake with it. So I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. You lot are stuck with me for an hour now, so I must be doing something reasonably right. Let's have a look. Mods do that too, to help keep up with greeting people and help you keep up with the comments. I'll take you up on that then, Tracy. I will take you up on that because I can't multitask. I cannot do it. Um, you have 3 moderators, I'm guessing, which is enough for when I have up to 100 in chat. Well, we got 5 of us. We had 4. We've got 4 of us. We had 5. I don't know that. I don't know. I should be able to manage this, shouldn't I? I should be able to manage 4, 5 people. I hope so, Michelle. I hope so. I didn't realise I didn't laugh that much. Life's too short to be serious, isn't it? I don't feel serious. I don't feel like I have a serious demeanour, but see myself on, I'm just on film, just chatting with Mark. Yeah, I do feel like sometimes I'm a bit serious. Uh, have that face too. Well, we are related. Happy to have. Thank you very much. Right. So, what else was I going to talk about? I think that was it. What's been happening? The Good Life vlog. So, if you fancy following our journey in our camper van, please do consider hitting over if you haven't already and subscribing to my other channel because we could do with growing that. That I really love making the content over there, and you can tell me if I've got a recipe. Thanks. So it's The Good Life, as in TH apostrophe GOOD life. It's very good, and I thought it was nice up play on words. The Good Life. Um, Social media. I've actually gone back to social media. I got rid of all my social media channels. I didn't get rid of them. I just kind of took them off my phone um, because I found at one point I was doing Instagram, Facebook. I had Facebook groups, TikTok, LinkedIn. I was doing a lot, and it got really, really too much. But I kind of been playing around with Instagram again. I've got three different Instagram accounts. I've got the Good Life Instagram account. I've got Very, Very Good. And I've also got Generation Exceptional, which I set up when it was my podcast. I'm not podcasting anymore, so I think I might let that one dwindle away. But if you're on Instagram and you fancy following me, it's look me on there, Thorogood. I'm not going to go back to Facebook because I find Facebook just drains the soul out of me. And I know lots of people say join Facebook groups and promote your YouTube channel, in a not in an overtly way, but help people in Facebook groups and it'll help with your YouTube growth. I just don't want to do Facebook. I really don't want to do Facebook. But Instagram, I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting back onto Instagram without the pressure of it being my business. So I can actually just, post without any pressure and just say, oh, I'm just going to share what I'm up to today. So like I went out for a walk and shared that on Instagram, and it's quite nice to really think hard about, oh, should I be doing a reel? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And just posting for the fun of it. Oh, you see, you've all started talking too much again, and now I've lost track of where I was. I have a frowny face. Should we have a frowny face community? Should we start a frowny face group? Um, Jenna sneaks in quietly. Well, you've been heard. You made yourself heard. Right. There's all Tracy's people in here having little conversations on their own, which I love. Don't stop doing that. Um, So I don't promote my channel on Facebook. I just look to see what people are talking about, what the community are up to. I get it. We had this conversation last week, and I know what you're saying makes perfect sense. I just don't want to go down that road. I find a lot of Facebook groups actually quite depressing. You are a bad influence, yeah. What have we got? Right. I think I've got all of them. I don't think I've missed them there. Um, I think as it's an hour that I've been chit chatting, I'm going to let you all go to bed because if you're in the UK, it's now your bedtime, isn't it? 10 o'clock. For everybody who may have dropped in from overseas, I know Anna had to go from in California, so it would have been a bit earlier over there. But, thank you so much for joining me. I know this has been a right waffle, hasn't it? Oh, they're the best kind. Um, what's going on in here? I'm seeing things popping up. Hi at Path to Pathos. My brother there. That's my brother. I'm really looking forward to going out to see him. Really looking forward to that. But I don't want to do it in the summer because it gets oppressively hot. I know, Brian, I think you've got plans to not stay there sort of August time because August in Cyprus is it's unbearable. It is oppressive. Um, Hugs to you too. Thank you very much. Thanks, Michelle, for all your questions. I love questions. I haven't got enough people in the chat yet to say, have you got the word question before? Although actually, if you put a big queue, I would have known when there were questions because I just can't multitask. Can't do it. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me. I've had an absolute blast. I should do more of these. I think I might even try and do one every fortnight. I don't think I've got anything to talk about to do one every week. I don't know. I never normally have a shortage of things to talk about, or at least talking. Might not have anything interesting to say, but I can definitely talk. Hugs to all of you too. Thank you so much, Brian. We will get together soon, and that'll be putting me out of my comfort zone as well. That's a bit of a surprise. Not going to let you know any more on that for now. Talk to you all soon. Take care. Love you lots. Bye bye.